Against this right back, Charlie.
Because you always use that active when defenders, I think, it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on. People deluded, I'm back again in a long saga, which has been Declan Rice from West Ham United to Arsenal. Looks like it's on the verge of completion. Mikel Arteta gets his alleged number one summer transfer target. It looks like Declan Rice could obviously sign for the club and obviously, you know, follow Kai Havertz's lead. Hopefully we get over the line with Timber. And then we're starting to look all right for next season, assuming there's 1-2 other additions and we can do some things with outgoings. But as you can see in front of me, 48 minutes ago at the time of making this video, David Ornstein has made an article and he has said Declan Rice has been given permission to undergo medical and finalize personal terms with Arsenal. I'm sure a lot of you lot, that's music to your ears, people. As I said, the ending's in sight, really and truly, with Declan Rice. I'm sure he's going to be the number 41, and you know, us Arsenal fans can start having the conversation. Where is he going to play? Is he going to play as an 8 and maybe take a like-for-like replacement in Xhaka's case if Xhaka goes to Leverkusen, which apparently is rubber stamped, and you might see some movement in that regards if and when this Declan Rice move is officially confirmed. I say when because we have to because we have to urge some sort of caution. Is he going to take Thomas Partey's place? Is he going to, you know, make up a trio with Granit Xhaka and Partey? Is he going to play either with Xhaka or Partey with Odegaard? And who knows what Kai Havertz is going to be, you know, job's going to be better yet where Arsenal's team is concerned. But yeah, that's music to our ears, because that tells us obviously that Arsenal and West Ham have not only agreed a fee, 105 million quid, allegedly 100 million in upfront and 5 million in bonuses. It tells us that the inner workings and the finer details in relation to that have been done with Arsenal and West Ham. As we heard, you know, the final kind of things that remained of this deal was allegedly the structure and actually how they're going to get paid, when are they going to get paid. So we've obviously reached a conclusion. We all know Declan Rice has been in Dubai on holiday. His, you know, rumors are probably true in that he cut short his holiday to probably go with a medical. We've heard for probably months now, and more aggressively in weeks, that personal terms are not an issue. We've heard Mikel Arteta and Declan Rice's dialogue dates to around the World Cup time. So they've been speaking for a while, and I'm sure his advisors probably know what Arsenal and Arteta were going to offer him from that regards. West Ham and Arsenal have now reached a full agreement ahead of the England midfielder's summer move across London. The Athletic reported last Wednesday that the clubs had settled on a transfer fee worth 105 million and were negotiating the payment terms. An agreement has now been reached, and Rice will undergo a medical ahead of completing what would be a Premier League record fee for a British player, and also Arsenal's record signing. Even though they said, you know, the initial, our very first bid, because there's been 3 now, we bidded 75 million or so with 50 million add-ons. Our first bid was around 90 million quid. You know, by all means, you know, hold things to account, but people said Arsenal was penny pinching. Whatever you think Declan Rice is worth, and yes, West Ham's asking price was 100, we bidded 90, but that would have been, assuming that went through, that would have been a club record signing for us. So you can't really sit here and say there's a lack of ambition and all of that jazz. Whether Declan Rice is able to do what he does at West Ham and more, fair conversation. Whether he's able to get us over the line with the Premier League, fair conversation. But in terms of intent, you have to give credit to Arteta and Edu and everyone around them. I think for Edu as well, I think he's almost got an impossible job, because critics will say you've overpaid. It's down to Declan Rice to prove him wrong. If you failed the deal, people know what would have been said. As we know, Manchester City pulled out of the race to sign Rice following Arsenal's improved bid of 100 million plus an extra 5 million add-ons. Manchester City had initially matched Arsenal's 90 million proposal, offering an increased sum up front, only for both bids to be rejected. So Arteta looks to get his man. We hear Arsenal was his first choice and things like that. It's a great step in the right direction. It shows intent, really and truly. And smash the like button and let me know your thoughts on Declan Rice. As we know, Rice is obviously leaving West Ham on an extreme high after captaining and actually winning a European trophy. We all know he's got a year left on his deal with the option of another one. At this moment in time, since making his debut for West Ham in 2017, he made 245 appearances. Now, there's many things to love about Declan Rice. For me, it's the player he is. You know, you're Premier League proven, not to gas him up and things like that as much as we should now, but you know, outside of the traditional top six, Rice would be a player that everybody would kind of want. He's a player that everybody knows. He's established in the Premier League. He's obviously an England international. He immediately improves our midfield. If I'm completely honest with you, we get some more physicality, we get some tenacity, we get some durability as well, because the man, you know, is forever fit, really. And obviously playing in a, respectfully to West Ham, a team that's a lot more better than them going forward and on the front foot a lot more in games, you probably start to see other areas of Declan Rice's game and what else he can bring to the table in that regards. I think he's a great player for us. He's 24 years of age. A lot of, you know, the transfer fee is one thing. I don't think he'll ever justify that, in that people always wag that over his head. But at the same time, he's not the first and he won't be the last. Nobody really cares about Jack Grealish's price tag because he's playing half decent for City. Nobody cares about what Liverpool spent on Van Dijk and Alisson because they're doing the job. They do if you obviously not. Now, obviously, Declan Rice, I'm not saying he's of their man's level and whatnot, but he's a lovely player. Immediately improves our team. Got a high technical level. Can play centre half if required. You know, I'm torn to see, will Arteta make him into an all-action midfielder that kind of, you know, can add some goals to his game? Will he actually just solidify the number 6 role and be the long-term heir to Partey in that regards? Will he actually be molded into a John Stones role? Because Declan Rice, obviously football's crazy, innit? You should, these fees are crazy, but in theory, if you're paying these kind of fees, it should be for the finished article. Declan Rice near enough, is it? Respectfully to him, you know, at 23, 24, you're not going to show too much different technically. We know what his skill sets are. We know he's primarily a ball winning / defensive midfielder. Obviously, he's got other areas to his game. As I said, he has got the ability to get up and down the pitch, which you should as a professional footballer, let alone a midfielder. But he can get into goal scoring positions and doesn't score many, but has scored some good finishes. He's obviously very good at winning the ball and whatnot. Obviously, Arteta has to not only know how good he is now, but how good he can be in the future. And he's that. And obviously, another good reason as to, you know, why we're getting Rice now, and for me, is because we're getting one of Mikel Arteta's key signings, really, especially going into the Champions League. We're getting him early, so you can have a pre-season of sorts, fly out to Germany and America when this gets done, you know. And I'm keen to see what Arteta's plan is, because he described Kai Havertz as a centre mid, as a midfielder, better yet. You'd imagine he's more likely to become either, you know, like an 8.5 per se, like Odegaard, or an out-and-out 8, maybe filling in where Xhaka is. Declan Rice, is there pressure on Partey's spot? You know, Xhaka and Partey have been linked with moves away kind of all summer since the window is open. This week is probably a bit more aggressive in relation to Thomas Partey leaving the club potentially. But we all know Granit Xhaka appears just a signature away for signing for Leverkusen. So if he is to replace Xhaka in the starting lineup right now, without talking about other things, it's a pretty decent like for like. He's got leadership qualities. Obviously, he's a Premier League proven player. I do think, you know, we do need a lot more, but Declan Rice immediately takes our midfield up to a very higher level. And for him, obviously, there's a lot for him to learn. You know, again, respectfully to West Ham, he's essentially a big fish in a small pond. I'm not saying Arsenal's the biggest and baddest in the land, but, you know, I'm happy to have Declan Rice, but you've got Declan, you've got Saka, you've got this, you got that, and the third. So can he shine and get up to par with them? Obviously, can Arteta turn him from a good player into a great player? Obviously, he's never played in the Champions League. There's a lot of transferable experience the man has. Obviously, he's played 244 times for West Ham and probably over 100 times in the Premier League. He's a European Cup winner. You know, in terms of this youngest kind of squad we're doing with teenagers to the kind of early 20s, he's got a wealth of experience. And immediately, I expect you to replace Xhaka in the locker room in terms of leadership. And I say that because, you know, he's got a wealth of experience. For me, he's with the Zinchenko's, the Odegaards, the Gabriel Jesus of this world, you know, guys that have been young players, dealt with pressure, one reason or another. You know, they've joined Arsenal and we're trying to do this project that we're undertaking. I expect him to be a very good player for us, really. I'm actually happy about his signing, if I'm completely honest. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button. Again, people, appreciate you lot for joining myself. You know, I'm well aware that this is obviously a late video. Obviously, this news has come out the last 48 minutes. So in due course, probably by tomorrow, other journalists will have their own spin on things and whatnot. So yeah, check out the other videos, smash the like button, let me know your thoughts on this Declan Rice stuff. And yes, finally happy that we're getting over the line, and credit to West Ham for finally stopping with the hardball stuff, because we've heard rumors, you know, even in the last 48 hours, people, there was rumors that Arsenal were pulling out of the deal or West Ham were threatening to pull out of the deal. Obviously, you know, this is probably a bit of nonsense, but who knows, people? It's finally happy to have another signing. And, you know, Arsenal have actually signed, you know, a couple of players recently as well. Didn't we sign again? I forgot her name, but Russo from Manchester United for our WSL team. And that's a big franchise signing in itself. So Arsenal at all levels, you know, new players are coming in, new players are coming in. We're committing players existing at the club to new deals and things like that. And we've got to remember, people, we've just, happy new month, by the way. We've just opened up into July. There's a lot of things to be said in terms of the transfer window. Players that are not available will become available. Players that were considered untouchable, things are happening. Agents start getting in the ears of players. So it's a step in the right direction. We still need to get Timber over the line. You know, we hear that's close. Need to bring in whatever Mikel Arteta demands. I know we've been linked with Mbappe and Tchouaméni. Those are probably unrealistic targets for us. The attention probably will switch to Lavia. Whether we're able to do that, I don't know. And obviously get a move on with outgoings as well, because, you know, not that I'm a financial accountant or anything, but Saka signed a new deal, Martinelli signed a new deal, Ramsdale signed a new deal, rumours over Benjamin White and Odegaard, Kai Havertz and Declan Rice are not going to be on cheap wages. Timber isn't going to be, you know, the most expensive outlay in terms of wages, but completing a move from Ajax, he's going to, and another one that's experienced on that as well, and of the same remit Arteta is trying to bring in, he's going to be on decent wages. You know, Xhaka obviously helps us out a lot if he does move. Partey's on handsome wages linked with a move away. Cedric isn't earning the most, but isn't earning the least either. Obviously, Ainsley Maitland-Niles has gone, and you've still got to deal with the 140k a week for Pepe. So yeah, as I was saying before I started offering them ending points, appreciate you lot for joining me wherever you lot are. Make sure you're subscribed, smash the like button, let me know your thoughts on Declan Rice. And it's firmly Rice baby time, people. One love.
So it's always just that active red flag, defending. I think it's like